What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I wanted to talk about one of the all-time classic loadouts in Destiny, and that is Mountaintop and Anarchy. I want to do some damage number breakdowns to see if it's still a viable damage strategy. Now, before you laugh and comment something stupid, this is for informational purposes. I know it is not the meta DPS option, and I will show a relatively strong meta DPS option for comparison. But one thing Mountaintop Anarchy has going for it is total damage and ease of use. So now let's jump into the numbers. So to set a baseline, I will test on the Grasp of Avarice Ogre. I'm using what I consider to be optimal loadouts as well. I swapped to Lunafaction boots, and for the Void GL test I have triple Void Surge. And for Mountaintop Anarchy, I have 1 Arc Surge and 2 Kinetic Surges. I also have Solo Operative and Revitalizing Blast. For Anarchy and Mountaintop, I'm not sure if 2 Arc Surges would be better, but either way, I went with 2 Kinetic and 1 Arc, and it's gonna be close either way. So for the optimal DPS test, I'm using a Wilder Flight GL with autoloading and spike grenades, and an Edge Transit with Envious Assassin, Bait and Switch, and mini frags. I will let my best DPS rotation play out, and then talk about a couple of the problems with this loadout. So first of all, as you can see, I have no more grenade launcher ammo left at the end of this damage rotation. And that was when using triple void reserves when I rallied, as well as firing off just 1 shot leading up to damage so that I could get 20 shots in the magazine for a very good mag dump. You can do backup mag and stuff, but 20 in the mag with mini frags is pretty good regardless. Anyways, we hit for 2.8 million damage. So that's obviously super good, as you could see from the health bar given that I was solo, but if I were doing a solo flawless run of Grasp of Avarice and I don't get lucky with heavy drops leading up to the next damage cycle, then that next rotation may suck ass. But regardless, this is still tremendous damage. Now let's look at my best Anarchy rotation. On my Mountaintop, I have Impulse Amplifier, Vorpal Weapon with Hard Launch and Spike Grenades, so it's pretty much a perfect god roll for DPS, so keep that in mind too. If you don't have the optimal roll, your damage could also suffer. So again, think about these things when you see the damage numbers. Anyways, I will let this run play out and then talk about the pros and cons. So for that one, I hit for just over 2 million damage, and I was a little late on the initial well cast. This boss does have a weird delay sometimes. Other times, damage starts right away, and sometimes it's delayed. It's honestly quite annoying, but it also speaks to what I'm talking about in this video, how damage phases don't always go perfectly. Regardless, I did 2 million damage, but in this case, I still have 16 Anarchy shots and 7 Mountaintop shots. And if I find just 2 special bricks, I can be back up to full for the next damage cycle. I've come to learn that Mountaintop has pretty good ammo economy. Plus, I can use Anarchy leading up to damage phase to take out the knights in the side rooms if I want, where with the Edge Transit loadout, you definitely don't want to be wasting grenade launcher shots on ads. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Aegis is a great creator, and his damage sheets are incredibly helpful. The info he gives is awesome, and he knows a lot more about optimal damage than I do. But I'm also a player of this game, and I know that many damage phases don't go perfectly to plan. With Envious Assassin, especially in a day 1 raid scenario, say you die right before damage. Well, now you only have 7 shots in your grenade launcher instead of 20, so your DPS is going to take a huge hit if you're doing the strat that I first showed off. Or what if you forget to get the second proc of Envious Assassin and only have 14 in the mag? Then again, you're not optimal. I actually did this, I forgot to proc it perfectly and I had 14 in the mag on one test and 15 in the other. So these things happen. Or maybe some bosses are like the first boss of Warlord's Ruin where it's a quick lead up to the boss phase, so you don't have enough ads to kill to get a full Envious Assassin magazine. In solo this might not be as big of a deal, but if you're in a team, you all need to kill a lot of ads to get a fully topped up mag. And that is the point of this video. Optimal DPS sounds nice and looks good for YouTube, but realistic DPS is important. Ease of use is important. Yes, hot swapping double slugs or hitting a crit with Izanagi and swapping to a double fire GL and swapping to a heavy GL looks cool, but it isn't necessarily practical, especially in a day 1 raid scenario. We use the Lament on Crota for the healing and the reliable damage output. We use linear fusions for Oryx. At the time, they hit hard and they had great ammo economy. Ammo economy matters greatly in a day 1. And you also need a loadout that can ad clear and help you survive, not just melt a boss. And yesterday, my buddies and I ran a bunch of content with Mountaintop and Anarchy, and it's honestly great for general play, as well as being decent for boss damage. We did a wave 50 onslaught, and I had my quickest melt of the wave 50 boss this week than I had with any other loadout. And it was also a super smooth run. We were using it to spawn kill ads, and it worked great. The final boss moves around a lot, so Anarchy is really nice for that. Same with the Demolitionists. You can stick them and do passive damage, which can be very helpful at times because it can deal damage and then you can go deal with some ads. So is Mountaintop the most optimal DPS? No, it's not. But we one-phased the Warlord's Ruin final boss with ease. And my one friend wasn't even popping his super for some reason, and they didn't even have surges on. I did though, and you can see this reflected in the damage numbers. Anyways, I will let the Warlord's Ruin final boss damage play out so you can see a practical scenario of Mountaintop Anarchy in action. You'll see that it combines respectable boss damage with good ease of use. And I will have some gameplay videos releasing over the next few days showing it in GMs and things like that. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. Anyways, thanks for watching if you're still here and enjoy the rest of the video. Take care.
I popped it a little early. Yeah.
Not bad.
There we go. Got that one for all damage. Just a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, that's a healing grenade.
Good.
Bro, why was that actually kind of good?
Mountaintop DPS.
Why was that?
That
Oh,
was
I
pretty
got
good.
it! I
got
got it! Yeah.
Let's
We don't
go,
have to
dude.
do those checkpoints. We don't.
Nice.
What are these
Alright,
damage
let's-
numbers like?
Yeah, let's check this damage.
So you did a lot more, but that's because he was on Celestial. That makes sense.
No, I was using Blade Barrage, but yeah. Also, that.